Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Rajajana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Rajajana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Rajajana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Rajajana Ranjana
Yamunatira Vanachari
Yunatira Vachari
Yamunatira Vanachari
Yunatira Vanachari
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta-vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivacharya Aswatara Shri Shimari Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivacharya Aswatara Shri Shimari Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki. ISKCON BBT Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासी गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपनाथ श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन की श्री वृंदावन धाम की श्री मथुरा धाम की श्री मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की श्री जगन्नाथपुरी श्री क्षेत्र धाम की गंगा माई की यमुना माई की भक्ति देवी की तुलसी महारानी की समवेत भक्त वृंद की युग धर्म हरिनाम संकीर्तन की ट्रांसनर बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की ट्रांसनर प्रसादम डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की पिताय गौर ब्रह्मनंदी all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. All right. So yesterday we were looking at we are doing Nectar of Instruction, verse 1. So we'll do verse 2 today. So before that, what I wanted to do was actually ask you all some. Should we put it up here? Is it good? Okay, so yesterday was loud, so we put it down. Today is not so loud, right? Yeah. Interesting. Okay. So just a kind of summary so you all can catch up with what we discussed yesterday. So what is real atonement? Yeah. Real atonement is awakening our dormant Krishna consciousness. Okay. The mind can naturally be controlled when we control the tongue. What else? Always think of Krishna and how to serve Krishna. So the mind, you can control it like that. So the bodily demands begin with what? Tongue. Now you got it. Okay. Okay. And then one can become qualified to be a bona fide spiritual master when one is fully control the senses, one is fully practiced in the methods of Krishna consciousness control. Yeah, control of senses. Okay. So basically that's a kind of summary for the first verse. Yeah. So today we'll do the second verse. I've got a lot of verses here. Okay. So let's chant. Atyahara prayasascha. Atyahara prayasascha. Jalpo niyamagraha. Prajalpo niyamagraha.
Prajalpo niyamagraha.
Janasangascha laulyam cha.
Janasangasya laulyam cha.
Janasangascha laulyam cha.
Janasangasya laulyam cha.
Satbir bhakti vinasyati.
Sadbir bhaktir vinashyati.
Satbir bhakti vinasyati.
Sadbir bhaktir vinashyati.
Translation: one's devotional service is spoiled when he becomes too entangled in the following 6 activities: eating more than necessary or collecting more funds than required; 2, over endeavoring for mundane things that are very difficult to obtain; 3, talking unnecessarily about mundane subject matters; 4, practicing the scriptural rules and regulations only for the sake of following them and not for the sake of spiritual advancement; or rejecting the rules and regulations of the scriptures and working independently or whimsically. 5. Associating with worldly minded persons who are not interested in Krishna consciousness. And 6. Being greedy for mundane achievement. So you can look at the verse in your phones or like that. Huh? Okay, so basically if you look at the atyahara, that means collecting more than necessary or eating more also. Okay. Generally, there's this understanding when they do a lot of karma kanda activities and so on. People will accept that religious practice because they want to materially progress a lot. So therefore, they want to collect more, and then they will try to understand a lot of things about the Shastra also. And they want to know why this is like that, why that is like that, right? Sometimes you see they'll study. It is okay, but they will over endeavor to know all those things. Vastu, right? Or anything like it's like trivia, right? Games. You can ask them and they'll know everything. But what they don't want to know is how to practice devotional service. Yeah, they're not pursuing that. Prabhupada says atyaharis, they include those who are desiring material things unnecessarily, so much more. They also desire how to get out of this material world. Those jnanis and so on were studying so much literatures and so on, they endeavor to get out of this material world to a higher planet actually to enjoy. Still is the same. They work so hard. And Prabhupada also includes communists and capitalists. Okay. And remember yesterday I gave you the example of the cart with the rice. So that's the same principle. Although the whole pack of rice package falls down and breaks, the animals will only take what they need. But the human beings will take the whole thing out. That is how they are. Over endeavoring to achieve all these things. So just like if you walk on the street, if you see $100, you immediately pocket it, no? Right or not? You will not go out looking for who. It is also quite impossible nowadays. Right? You do not know. But in general, we do not think like that, no? When you were young, did you think of returning to the owner? No, also, no? You can see how the culture has changed. When we were young, right, we find something in the school, even $1 or coins, we will take it to the principal and give it to the principal. For now, you can say nowadays they won't do such things, Nowadays they will collect and keep collecting, thinking they can use it for their own welfare. Yeah. Of course, we require possession for maintenance of the body, but we should not collect more than necessary. Yeah? We should not work like, nowadays some people have 2 jobs. Some people have 3 jobs. Maybe in US you don't see that so much, but I've been to Hong Kong, in the Asia, I've been to China and so on. One day I saw this man, we get up early in the morning, we chant. So as at around 6 in the morning, we can see from it's a flat, everyone stays in apartments, so you can see across. And you see this person getting up in the house, and then they are, dressing up, and then they're ready. So around 6 in the morning, they go to work. You can see, where they go. So later on, around midday, 12, I saw the person come back. I thought maybe they're coming for lunch break or something. But they changed up, and then they quickly ate, and then in a different attire, the person went out again. Yes. So then I realized this is job number 2, because he was wearing a kind of uniform. Then evening 6 o'clock, again I saw the person came back. I'm not standing there just looking at the house. Okay. It so happened I was there and I looked out and I saw the same person coming back, and they changed up and they, took their dinner. And then in another uniform, they went out again. Yeah. So they were working so hard because to maintain in their city and so on, so much, this is like a big apartment for them. And sometimes 10 people stay in this apartment. In one apartment, 2, 3, 4 families will stay. It's like matchboxes. But they all work so hard also, still over endeavoring. Because they have to work so hard, they are working and endeavoring so much. But here in America, all of you, you work only one job or two jobs. Do you still need to work so much? You have to understand and ask yourself, of course, you will endeavor if you don't have what you don't have. Yeah, okay, higher purpose or goal of life. Remember yesterday I told all of you, if you have a goal of life, then it makes it easier. Otherwise, you will collect more than necessary for your actual basic needs. Of course, the system in many countries are set up to make the life of the ordinary person very difficult, right? For example, in America especially, they have insurance. You have to have insurance for everything. Home insurance, car insurance, health insurance, what else? Life insurance, dental insurance, vision insurance, right? Practically everything is you have to give. So in different ways, they are taking things away from you and making you feel very distressed. Yeah. So then even when you buy insurance, then it has gold, silver, normal, basic, all. So they make you suffer a lot. This is the way material world is. Yeah. But if you are Krishna conscious, then you do not allow all these things to affect you so much. You understand, yeah, I have to do the basic. So, of course, I know devotees sometimes go extreme also. Like when they go to India for 2 months, they'll stop all the insurance. They'll cancel all the insurance policy. And then when they come back, then they renew the insurance policies. And that's also too extreme. But the point is, because so much they endeavor to earn, and then the money becomes very dear to them. That's why Prabhupada, in some places, he says, money is like the honey. They cannot give it up. Yeah. And in another place, people will take care of their life. Right? If the thief comes and says, give me your money or your life, you will not want to give the money because you have used so much of your energy, your blood, and you work to get the money. So therefore, even as at the most difficult stage in your life, you still want the money. And all this because you don't have a proper goal in life. Yeah. If you have proper goals, then all these circumstances cannot affect you so much. Yeah, you may feel they're taking my money, a thief come, but you say it's okay, Just like if you have read the first canto, right, in the first chapter, Kamsa wanting to kill his sister, and how Vasudev said it's okay, but you can take the child. I'll personally give you. He wasn't so distressed. He knew this guy was a demon, rascal, So he was more collected. Why? Because he was very Krishna conscious. He understood there's a higher purpose. So this natural principle must be followed, that you do not collect more than necessary. Yeah. Otherwise you will encounter a lot of physical difficulty mental anxiety. Now you understand why there's so much mental health problems. It is induced by the governance of the people in this country, all over the world actually. So all this activity will entangle you. What do I mean by entangle? It takes you away from devotional service. Yeah. So what you need to do, each of you, is ask yourself, how much am I wanting? How much I want to entangle myself in the material life? How much? Yeah. The other day when I was in Houston, one devotee was saying, I just bought, he bought a second house. Then he said, I'm going to buy a third house, and I want to make sure that when I retire, I have everything, Yeah. So I said, it doesn't work that way, You can buy as many houses as you want and you can die tomorrow. So what is the question of retirement? I say the most important thing is you concentrate on your Krishna consciousness. Now, not that you retire and then you think about it. And in saying that, there was this young man who was very intelligent, very, very super intelligent, So he was like a gold medal winner every year. So final year of his college, he was coming to the temple. This is in India. He was coming to the temple every time. But for the last 3 months, he said, I have to get the top position. I have to get the number one position. So then he told the devotees, I'm not coming for the next 3 months. I want to study, get the highest grade. So he didn't come. So, and then after the exams are all over, he got number one position. So then they had the ceremony where he had to go and receive his medal and so on. And on the way, this is what I heard, on the way he had an accident, major accident, and he left his body. So we do not know what can happen. So don't over endeavor in something that is only temporary in any case. Even if you get a big bungalow in this life, you can die and become a cockroach in the same house. Yeah. Or a mouse, and then you find the owner of the house is trying to either spray a bug spray on you or put the mouse traps to catch you. Right? So we should be very careful. Okay, so that's atyara. So the next one is prayasa. I'm going to just give you an overview, and then later on we can go a little bit more. Over-endeavoring. Prayasa means over-endeavoring or unnecessary endeavor. And this is caused by atyahara. When you want to collect more things, you over-endeavor. Right? Yeah. That's quite... And what happens if you want to over-endeavor? You think of different ways of collecting things and how to get. So you will misuse your intelligence. So that's very important to understand. Yeah. So Prabhupada gives an example of how in this society they build so many factories, slaughterhouses, brothels, liquor shops. All these are unwanted things. But they because it's a misuse of intelligence. They know this can trap people and they will spend money and they will create a economy based on that. If you don't use your endeavor to understand God, then you will use your endeavors to satisfy your senses or artificial needs that you don't need. Just like when the Apple came out with the iPod, remember many years ago. People didn't think, they all were using their MP3, I remember, on the laptops. But as soon as that came out, nobody thought about that. When it came out, everyone wanted it. And at that time, one was like 500, just a 20 gigabyte or something like that. Right? Actually 20 megabytes. Yeah, not gigabytes. So much endeavor, and they artificially create the needs. You didn't think you needed that, but this is how intelligent materialists are, how very intelligent they are. So our endeavor is not, if it's not for inquiry of the Lord, then it will simply increase our endeavor for unnecessary things. So that's another important thing for you also to understand on a daily basis. Whatever you do, you ask yourself, what am I endeavoring for? It's a good check, At the end of the day, you can also ask yourself, what did I endeavor for today? Right? Did I endeavor for Krishna, or did I endeavor for my own sense enjoyment? Yeah. It helps you balance, and if you can see yourself clearly, if you're honest with yourself, then you will adjust your lifestyles also. And if you are a person who have difficulty adjusting your lifestyle, then you ask senior devotees for help. The Vaishnava Sangha is meant to help each other. Don't feel that, I shouldn't ask, or why I have to tell him my problems and so on. Of course, later on we'll understand that Vaishnava Sanghas help you to reveal your heart, the difficulties you're going through, how to overcome, because whatever you're going through is not unique. Others have gone through previously. So therefore you have a wealth of abilities and knowledge that they can help you with. Okay? Right? If you want to go shopping, who you ask? Your friends, right? I want to buy this new thing. And you ask a few devotees, do you know about this? Where to buy, how to buy, right? So they say, or you go online to find out the best of this, the best of that. That's how we use our intelligence. Yeah. All right, and then the third point here raised with prajalpa. Prajalpa means unnecessary talking. That means the topic is not connected to Krishna or Krishna. It's not about Krishna or anything not connected to Krishna. Obviously, when we say unnecessary talking, now your family members may visit you, your friends may visit you. You may have to talk something, right? But you do not want to go too much into. Sometimes it's no choice. Of course, it is also said that Sanatana Goswami, he used to actually go from where he used to live in Vrindavan, he'll visit different villages also. And then he'll see the people there. He'll ask them, how are you? What are you doing? And then he'll ask their children, how are you studying? Where are you working? So this may seem mundane, but it is a necessary activity because all of them see Sanatana Goswami as a spiritual leader, a sadhu who cares for them. So out of respect for him, they are through him respecting. Yeah, when you respect a sadhu, you actually indirectly through the sadhu you are respecting Krishna. So that may be needed. So as a devotee, you should practice in your home so that even if your guests come, they can see you as a devotee. Not that you walk out the door, you wipe away your tilak. Right? You don't do that. You understand? You should not. You should be happy to be a devotee. If you are not happy, then how you can help others? With your face so long, dragging all over the place, how you can encourage others? They say, you look at you only, I don't want to be Krishna conscious. Right? Yeah. Right or not? So unnecessary talking means you get involved in that topic. Like someone comes and tells you, you invest in this, stock market, and then you immediately get into it, and then on the phone for the next 2 weeks trying to see if your stock is going up or down, those are unnecessary talking. Yes, if somebody gives you out of their goodwill, say, buy this stock, you can say, okay, let me think about it. That's it. If you want to invest, that is up to you, but we don't encourage. Still, that's it. But don't waste too much time. That is one way of understanding prajalpa. The other way is you are reading newspaper. Again, don't spend 2, 3 hours, 4 hours reading one newspaper. I've seen my uncles and I've seen my grandmother, reading the newspaper from hours, and I would think, what are they looking at, And sometimes I will also take the paper and see what are they so excited about reading. There's nothing there. Some small news, everything they go through. There may be one or two reasons why. Because if they don't read that, they may be bored. They don't know what else to do in life. Especially when your grandmother, grandfather, you're just sitting there, If your grandchild is sleeping, what are you doing? You're hoping the child will get up and you play with them. So you'll be wasting so much time. So paper is like that, newspaper is like that. Or if there's no newspaper, they look at some magazines, right? And then you can see that also when you fly in the airplane, right? You can see how people are going through the magazines. Not many people nowadays, because mostly everyone is stuck in the watching the it's so distracting, even if you don't watch, everyone is watching around you. So you can try to sleep, and if you can't sleep, then you can try to do japa, but otherwise you can it's a very difficult flight for a devotee. Or at home, some of you may be watching TV also, right? Now, I'm saying all that because these are not healthy for your devotional practices. It takes away your energy, takes away your time, and so on. Time which are very valuable, you can use it for understanding Krishna better, how to do better at your service, or also how, instead of 2 hours watching some some serial or some movie or whatever, you can cook for Krishna, right? Which will be more eternal service. One is temporary, which will maybe titillate your senses for 2 hours, and then it's a letdown. And then, or you do something that you offer to Krishna that is eternally for you, for your benefit. Who cares what the hero dies or not on the TV? Who cares? Right? If one serial ends, and they'll produce another serial. Especially in India, right? I heard every half an hour there's some stupid program going on. Right? Mother-in-law fighting with daughter-in-law, daughter-in-law fighting with mother-in-law, right? You're laughing, you know all this, no? Right? Or son-in-law. It's the same story, but in 10 different ways people want to watch. And so they watch and they say, and then they end with something, what is going to happen? What is going to happen? But why don't you read Krishna book? Every page in Krishna, what is Krishna going to do? So that should be our thing. That is how we should stop this prajalpa in our mind. Sometimes old people go and do what? They stay in the old age home. What do? They play cards and what else? Golf, they do golf. I remember when I was in college, I finished, we were finishing towards the end, and then my friend said, let's go and play golf, Now, I've never played before. And I say, wow, this must be something, because you've seen people hit the ball. But when I went there, I couldn't even hit the ball. And I was thinking, why people like this game, Yeah, sometimes you hit it and the ball fly, but you have to walk, where the ball fell, and then you keep hitting until you hit into the hole, So much time is wasted, Yeah. And then you have to carry all the sticks, golf clubs. So unnecessary we talk is like another frogs. Prabhupada says a frog will cry in the night, and then as the frog is crying, the snake is coming. The snake is attracted, and so the snake will come to where the frog is beautifully crying and then it'll eat the frog. So similarly, if we are always doing unnecessary talking which has no connection to Krishna, eventually we will attract Yamaraj. Yeah, he will come. Yeah. So therefore, we shouldn't be like the croaking toads, Prabhupada says. So if you ask yourself, what are you doing, in this life? What is you should always think about this. Every day you should ask yourself, what is your goal, what do I want to accomplish today also? A lot of the time we forget. Today we are talking about this now. We wake up tomorrow morning. How much are you thinking? You should look at your family and say, if I'm here tomorrow, or will they be here tomorrow? Right? What am I doing? Am I helping them connect with Krishna? Am I helping them connect with something that is temporary? If I die, what am I leaving for them that they will know that they are, and that is so important to continue that connection. So therefore, whatever you talk must be very, very important, that it will instill or inculcate good values in your family members also, or to your friends and so on, or to your colleagues in the office also. Some, formula or statements that you say that makes them think. Not to put people down, we are not here for that. That's not our goal, but rather to awaken their desire to understand the purpose in life. You should always understand that you must become well-wishers of others. Sometimes it may be difficult, Sometimes your family member may be very nasty, But okay, you may not be able to talk to them, but you can at least pray for them. Prayers are very powerful also. All this you should cultivate. How much do you pray? As I asked you yesterday, same thing. How much do you all pray? Yes, you get up in the morning, you may do your arti and so on, but do you pray? Do you pray to understand Krishna properly? Do you pray to understand how to do service for His pleasure? These are very important for you all to understand and practice. So therefore, you should not unnecessarily take part in some of these talkings. If like I said in the beginning, if your family members come and they are talking, etiquette is you should talk to them some bit, and then you can tell them, come to my temple room and we're going to do some bhajan. If you do like this a few times, they won't come anymore. And you can be very peaceful. But if they come with so much good also, right? You can help them. Yeah. Or you can say, normally this is our practice. It's so wonderful you have come. We will read Bhagavad Gita for half an hour and we'll discuss and then you do, then they'll say, oh my God, and if they like it, they'll come. You give them prasadam, and if they eat prasadam, they get purified. I remember one man, this was in Perth, Australia. This man was coming to Sunday feast, and he was, we call them bums in the street. I don't know what they will call here, but anyway. So he will, every Sunday he will come because he knows it is free food for them, So he'll come, he's big guy, he'll sit in one corner at the end of the temple, and then he'll like sleep, sometimes he'll snore, and then the speakers they'll tell him, so they'll hit him and then, or he's like, he's very dirty because he's living in the street, he'll come. So every Sunday he'll come. So I was there for a couple of years, then I left. He was still there. Every Sunday he'll come, and when prasadam time comes, he'll wake up. And then he'll eat the prasadam. 10 years later, I went. And then they asked me to give the Sunday feast class. I was giving. Then I saw this man come and sit down. And I say, he looks like that guy. But this time he had a Bhagavad Gita with him. Yeah. So I asked him, what happened? He said, yeah, one day he woke up and started asking questions. So prasadam also will help. So prajalpa may be there, but you give people who are too much in prajalpa prasad to help. And then the fourth point that Rupa Goswami highlights is niyamagraha or niyamagraha. One is agraha, the other one is agraha. Okay. Those interested in Krishna consciousness should not be eager to accept rules and regulations for economic advancement. That is the agraha, the long edge. Right? Sometimes people say, if I become devotee, then I can, get more wealth. Huh? Right? Yeah, they'll say, okay, you chant, you get. Sometimes we also tell people, you chant, you'll get all wonderful things. But that's not the purpose of chanting. You should tell them honestly. You chant, you will lose everything. You shouldn't say that. You should say, you will go back to God. It is the same, but they won't register. Right? If you tell them they lose anything, then they'll get scared. Yeah. Or they will just follow not for advancement of Krishna. They just follow because they think it's good for me. So that is also not good. We are doing it to make advancement, spiritual advancement. So therefore, I have told you all also many times, last time when I came I told you keep a journal in your life and say how much you are progressing. You can keep your own diary. How is your chanting? On a daily you chant, right? So you at the end of the day you can write down, today I felt I chanted nicely. I heard more today than yesterday. Or I heard less today than yesterday. So then you can help yourself, gauge yourself, and increase or decrease your austerities. Right? To please Krishna. So how? By following regulative principles also. That's another, Prabhupada gives understanding that when we want to advance, then we should avoid illicit sex. That means don't watch TV, because TV is full of illicit sex. Right? Even if they don't show, they say it. And your mind is affected. Generally, there are about 15 samskars that Vaishnavas follow. So every samskar, the purpose of samskar is to give you good impressions. Good understanding. And if the samskar is very good, in your impression is there, then you can recollect that very nicely in any situation. If it's a positive impression, it gives you positive abilities. Now, if you are seeing all these foolish shows and mixed with wrong people, those impressions become negative impressions. Therefore, the only thing you can think is negative impressions in your life, right? Those pictures will come. And that's why you find some people who are addicted to this is because that it is so deep and it's very hard for them to get out of those impressions. It's always there, and therefore the mind controls them, and then it takes over the senses and they indulge in unfortunate behavior. So therefore, although you may say, I'm not doing the illicit sex, meat eating, gambling, you watching in TV, someone eat meat also, no? Yeah, so don't, it affects you subtly. Or gambling, or intoxication. The more you see, the more you feel that it's okay. You understand or not? And if somebody in your home, your son or daughter is drinking, you'll say it's okay. So don't do that. The mentality becomes neglectful. Nyamagraha. Becomes, okay, it's all right, like that. So don't do all those things. Always ask yourself, in any situation, you don't have to get so depressed, but you can say, why did I do it, How do I go about not doing the same thing? Again, you need proper association. Yeah? Don't be afraid, don't have too much of a false ego. We all have ego. But to get out of our false ego, we have to always come to good devotees to ask, look, I have this problem. Of course, the devotee you approach, you make sure they are confidential. The fifth item or activity that can spoil your devotional service is Jana Sangha. Jana Sangha here means materialists, actually. Materialistic people. So therefore, we should be very careful who we are associating with. Remember yesterday I mentioned when you are working and so on, that is different because it's like your duty you have to perform for your needs, to take care of your family and so on. Because the results of your work, you are using it in the service of Krishna, hopefully. Otherwise, you are also getting trapped. Whatever work you do, there is karma. You cannot run away from that. And no one in this world can be inactive. Everyone is forced to act. So, you should strictly avoid such bad associates. If you read Prabhupada's books and if you practice, then you can identify who is a good associate, who is not a bad associate, who is bad. Right? If you don't sufficiently read, how would you know what is right and what is wrong? Right or not? Very simple, these are not difficult things. And you will immediately identify, this person is cheating me, this person is a nonsense. Externally you can be, okay, nice, and then after that you find a way to get out, yeah. Don't have to hang around them or follow them, Jana Sangha also means these people, they associate with low class people, or men who are extremely attached to women, or women who are attached to men. So it could be Sri Sangha, or it could be Purusha Sangha, like that. Yeah, it's like that. So you have to be very careful. As devotee you're practicing, you should be careful. You have to protect your sadhana, your practice. Most people don't care, right? If they don't practice, if they are not Krishna conscious, they don't care about your welfare. If you get promoted, your colleagues are very happy? No, right? Externally, they'll smile and say congratulations. Internally, they are cursing you. Right? They're saying, I hope they make big mistake and I get promoted. Yeah. So therefore, you have to know, this is the nature of this material world. It is not that they are bad people, but it's the society has made them like that. So you have to also protect yourself. And so if you entangle yourself, taking their kind of thought processes and so on, then you can never be able to practice devotional activities nicely. It is not possible. So you have to be careful, we want to always engage in devotional service with devotees, like I mentioned, if you're only coming once a week to the temple for association, it is not sufficient. It is not sufficient. So we must become innovative to associate nicely. How in some places they have phone conference, they do japa, or they do reading of Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. In some places they have Zoom calls to discuss problems they are facing. In other places they have meetings together, in person, kirtans, like that, the deities you have. So how often do you come to give pleasure to the deities? Only once a week for one couple of hours and that's it. So you can all think about how I can serve the deities in so many different ways. You can come and do kirtan. So maybe, like for example, you can say Tuesday night is taco night. So everyone will come for taco, but you have kirtan only, nothing, no talk. Or you can have pizza night or something like that. So you get more and more people who come just for prasadam, they'll come. But in the same, they will get some purification, right? You like that, right? Yeah, so you should think like that. Become innovative to help one another, In the beginning, all of you are like rocks and stones, that you pick outside. It's rough, But you put in a bag and you carry it for 1 year, all these stones will become smooth. Yeah. So you will have problems. That's okay. But sort it out. That's the whole idea, is to help each other go back to God. There's no such thing, only you will go and nobody else will go. That is the material concept. Spiritual life means helping one another, So this is why we have ISKCON centers everywhere, to give people an opportunity to associate. Right? Where else do you have, it's so difficult to get good association, But you cannot become miserly. Miserly mentality is, as Prabhupada mentioned in the first verse, is Duratma. You have to become Mahatma. Why? Because Mahatma sees broad vision. Duratmas, you see narrowly. You only see for your selfish needs. Family, country, society, like that. No, we are seeing everything as, what is that? The Lord's Kutumba. Vasudeva Kutumba. But not like how they are saying. Okay. And then the last point in this verse, Rupa Goswami highlights, is laulya, being greedy for mundane achievements. Now this one comes from the previous one that I just spoke. What is that? Janasanga. Yeah. So you become greedy for mundane material things because of bad association. Remember I told you about impressions, samskars. So you want bad samskars or good samskars? Yeah. And that's why when you do like a wedding ceremony, we have in front of deities, we do a lot of mantras, chanting. So whoever, even children, they see the vision, the impression is positive. The energy is positive. That's what you do. Or you have a child is born, then again do kirtan or positive. Because then years later they'll remember, oh yeah, I remember they had a child, then they'll think of all the kirtan, all the things, positive. That's what samskar is meant to be, to create positive environment, proper vibrations, good energy. So these are important. So Jana Sangha will if it's generally Jana Sangha means material association. They create greed for material prosperity. And if you are too much into all this kind of people, then you will not be able to, you may like to be with the devotees, but you will not give the time for devotees. Right? You have met people like that. They are nice people, but they say, oh, I'm so busy in this. Why? Because they don't understand what is the true goal in life. Yeah. It's very difficult, you will find, because they may be like a CEO and company and they're running so much, making billions of dollars. For them, this is nothing, because the goals or the priority is all flipped already, upside down. So sometimes even in your career, you may be going very fast and you may have to say no. Right? Why would you want to have a material prosperity and lose your soul in the process? So at a certain time, you must say, this is enough. I don't care. Why you worry? If you had worked for more than 10 or 15 years, you already got enough credits to get your social security. So why you worry? If that's what you need. But there's no such thing as, sometimes people calculate and say, I need $10.292 million in the bank, then I will retire safely. Nonsense. It doesn't work like that. By the time you retire, things can be different. They will say no more money in any bank, the government will take. Then what do you do? What is your savings for? So be very wary of the situation in life. So Jana Sangha is very important. Who you choose, it doesn't matter. Sometimes you think it's my relative. Yeah, but you have to become intelligent enough to recognize, are they my well-wishers? Are they not my well-wishers? Are they devotees? Or are they just nice people? And accordingly you relate to them. You cannot totally avoid everybody. So therefore, you have to become very intelligent how you deal with them. Yeah. And they shouldn't feel uncomfortable with you practicing Krishna consciousness. Your relation with them should be in such a way that they feel comfortable. Oh, okay, they're nice. They're doing nice like that. Which means you cannot go home and start saying, you're a demon, you're asura. Right? You cannot. You have to become compassionate also. Maybe they're not ready at that time. They may become ready when they see you and they associate with you. Association means you give them your compassion, you give them your affection, you give them your abilities to help them come to a higher consciousness or higher train of thoughts. So if you're always caring for people and you show empathy towards their needs, oh my God, I forgot to turn off. Okay. It's not important. Actually, it's coming from the other side of the world. But it's not important. Yeah. I do apologize for that. Yeah. And the other way is when you associate with people, sometimes people talk about mystic potencies, right? They read some book, especially in some places in Asia, they like all this mysticism, Or you got the Siddhi. The Chinese people like that. They like to fly and and kung fu and all those things. So then we may associate with them and think, yeah, I also want that mystic. How nice if I get the power, I can do this for Krishna, I can do that for Krishna. But you're not thinking of practicing devotion for Krishna anymore. You're thinking of what you want. Yeah, right? Yeah. You can think, your house is broken. You think, if I have Siddhi, I can fix this. I don't need to ask a contractor. Right? So we think our consciousness is like that. Your mind will play so many tricks. And you think, oh, that is. And then sometimes you'll be thinking half an hour like this foolishly. Half an hour gone. Your life is gone. So Janasangha again will create all these problems. Huh? Or someone will say, there's a nice plot of land, you should buy, it's good for you, 10 years later, it's a good investment, right? But then how the 10 years later, the climate will change and everything is a desert. What investment? So you cannot trust the future like that. The only thing you can trust is bhakti. It's always there, it's eternal. Everything else we think in this material world we want to adjust and so on is temporary. And we are putting faith in temporary situation. It's temporary. Of course, just like sometimes you'll hear, you may have a friend who could be a Sunyavadi or Mayavadi, and then you're thinking, you listen to them. And I've seen that, devotees who associate like that. They will also talk in Mayavadi language after a while. There are many people who are so eloquent in their speech. They have silver tongue, So nice. You're like, wow, how they can speak like that, And they have good intelligence and memory and they can quote sloka. But if you don't read Prabhupada's book, you will be carried away by their wonderful discussions. They may be talking simply Mayavadi philosophy. So one day you get up, you're thinking, I want to merge with something, So you don't want to do that. So these are all impediments in your Krishna consciousness. As I mentioned, keep a journal. A journal is good for many of you. I know it is. So when you write down things you did for the day, what was Krishna conscious, what wasn't Krishna, you can reflect on it and decide how you can progress next time. It's very helpful. Otherwise, you do not know that you have wasted time or you have did something wonderful. Sometimes you forget also. So if you do practice like this, Rupa Goswami says you will not have enmity towards one another. If you practice this things, atyahara, give up those things, prayas, prajalpa, so the enmity will cease. You will not get angry with the person, you will not see them as your enemies. Not only within humans, also with animals. Because now you understand you are spirit soul, animals are also spirit soul, so you don't want to kill them. So there's no more enmity with the animals. Okay? Or anybody in the world, capitalist, communist, there's no such thing anymore. We'll be all friends. Like that. And no more worries about economic problems because we know the goal is there. So the leaders also who understands this will also stop harassing the people. Coming after people with tax this, tax that, so many, so much problems. So this pure consciousness you can awaken by a proper spiritual education. Therefore it's very important. It's only offered in our movement actually. You don't find it in many places. Actively, we want people to get this knowledge and do something beneficial for each and every one of you, right? You don't find this actively being preached in many other societies or so-called religious society. They may have some discussions, but not as strong as what we are doing. Yeah. Because we want you all to go back to Godhead. That's the bottom line. Why you want to stay here? So it's very important for you to understand this. So yeah, when you become too entangled in talking unnecessarily about mundane subject matters, Prabhupada says your devotion service is spoiled. Yeah. What is your human life meant for? Yeah. Huh?
Awaken your Krishna.
Yeah, awaken your Krishna. Prabhupada also says it's meant for plain living and high thinking, or simple living and high thinking. Yeah. Because we are all under this material energy. So therefore, we have to live simply. We become more and more trying to control the energy, you are gone. Devi Esha Gunamaya Mama Maya Duratyaya. The material energy cannot be conquered. We are too small to conquer. Maya Dyakshena Prakriti Suyate Sacharachana. He is in charge. He is the supervisor of material energy. So he can see that. And so we have to just only approach the Lord. Then Maya Mitam Tarantite. Then you can overcome the material. Mameva ye prapadyanti Maya Mitam Tarantite. When you surrender unto me, you can easily cross this thing. Otherwise, it's not possible. It becomes like Vatsapadam, a hoof of a calf, and you can just cross. Otherwise, it's like Bhavam Buddhi. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So don't become narrow-minded. Don't become selfish. You only cause problems for yourself, and you will be put under the control of this material energy. What is the worst thing that can happen for all of us? Yeah, so not just only one time, repeated cycle of birth, death, old age, and disease over and over and again and again. Every time you get a body in the human, you have to maintain that, work hard for the maintenance. But if you use it and understand, okay, this body is, I do not know if I'm going to get the same body. One time during a GBC meeting, North American GBC meeting, the one devotee, Prabhupada disciple, she was, can't remember her name, maybe it was Shakuntala or something. But anyway, she was saying, the devotees were asking Prabhupada, in a discussion they were saying, Prabhupada, we will get human birth next life. We have taken prasada. So Prabhupada looked at them, then he kept quiet, and then they were saying, yes, Prabhupada, we will come back. So, and then Prabhupada said, there are 400,000 species of human form of life. Then they all were listened. Then Prabhupada said, one of them is like a monkey form. Yeah. So then he kept quiet. So yeah, there's 400,000 human form. You can come into even, not human, could be even lower than a human, but still in that human form. So he said, don't take risk like that. This is a valuable opportunity, so we should do that. Yeah. So yeah, don't work too hard, endeavor unnecessarily. Again, we are recapping the whole thing. It's not that we are telling people to become primitive, live a primitive life. No, basic necessities. All you need is a roof in the house above your head, and proper heating, and then some food to eat. That's all you need. What else do you need? Right? If you think like I mentioned, you have a big bungalow, big house. You're only sleeping in what? 5 feet by 4 feet area, that's about it, no? Right? What is the point? If you want to show off to your friends, oh, look, big house, and then they will go inside, they all get lost, What is the point? Yeah. We have higher intelligence, the purpose should be used for God realization, not for over-endeavoring. Yeah. So we have to be trained, and that's another thing we do in ISKCON. We train how to perform your dharma. Right? People don't teach you. From young, you've been going to different temples. They don't tell you how to perform dharma. So this is very valuable. You have the opportunity now to learn how to do the proper dharma. Right? Sankirtan dharma. Yeah. And don't unnecessarily talk, because it's just like croaking. Frogs or toads. Yeah. Try to, the more you read, the more you can talk about Krishna or Prabhupada, Sometimes you can't read too much philosophy, then read about Prabhupada's Lilamrita. Read. It's so nice, so wonderful what he did. Okay, and don't associate with people who are not interested in Krishna consciousness. Mayavadis, Sunyavadis, all those vadis. Yeah. Yeah. Or even materialists, all those people. You don't have to. And the rules that Prabhupada gives is very simple. Do it. Don't try to adjust and give your excuses for not doing it. Who's the loser? We are the loser if we don't follow. Yeah. Don't accept any rules or regulation for economic development in Krishna consciousness. Right? Yeah. Right? Chaturmasya. There's two. We can do Chaturmasya. Most people do Chaturmasya for economic reason, going back to heavenly planet. That's why they do. But we don't do that. We observe that to please Krishna. Prabhupada told us, so we follow. Not for any other reason, right? Because we want to please Prabhupada, we want to please Krishna. You can say, oh, my dear Krishna, this month I can't take urad dal, no idlis, no dosa, But I'm doing it, to please you. So you kindly bless me. Yeah. It's an austerity, but you can do it, connect yourself. And Krishna will say, yeah, that's nice that you're doing that. Okay. So I think, yeah. So therefore, let me ask you, what is a Mahatma? Huh?
Will be discussed even if he is not thinking of Krishna.
Okay, but that's acceptable. A Mahatma is one who doesn't gratify his senses. He gratifies Krishna's senses. Yeah. Yes, not selfish. He gives Krishna to others. Yeah. Okay. Okay, there will be no difficulty in maintaining the body if we what? What are the things? If you don't, collect more than necessary for our needs. Yeah, that's good. What is the first step in human civilization? What is the first step in human civilization? Huh? Understanding? Understanding there's more to life than eating, sleeping, mating, defending. Prajapa means unnecessary talking. Yeah. Reading newspapers, magazines, crossword puzzle. Yes, playing cards, fishing, watching TV, movie. Yes, and all of these are prajalpa. What is Janasanga? Associating with materialistic people or people who are not interested in Krishna consciousness. Atyaharas, who are Atyaharas? Okay, who are they? Yogis? Siddhis? Huh? Only materialistic people? What about the yogis? Siddhis, Jnanis? Huh? Yeah, they are not interested in Krishna. So Siddhi Kamis, Bhukti Kamis, Mukti Kamis. Huh? Right? Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Shakaleya Shanta. Krishna Bhakta Niskami Ateva Shanta. Yeah. So they all disturb because they are all selfish. Krishna Bhakta is Nishkami. He has no desires. His desire is to please Krishna. So that's so you all pass. Or I will stop here because we have to finish. Any comments, questions, corrections you feel you can take that. Yeah.
So it's always is it always bad to collect money if you are actually using that money for the service of Krishna?
Yeah, if you have that blessing that you will not be attracted to the money and you can earn the money and use it in the service, then that's fine. But most people, when they get a lot of money, they are like, why? Okay, Krishna, you take $1, I take $10, like that. So the the consciousness becomes like that. So therefore, we discourage in general for most people. Now, exception to the rule is not the rule. So maybe one or two people have that Shakti that is blessed by the Guru or by Krishna himself. They can do this. Yeah. So, for example, tomorrow if you get let's say you even though we told you not to, you played lotto power and you got $1.3 billion, then how much will you give to Krishna? Right? At that time you will know who you are.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Huh? Yeah. Srila Prabhupada tried to earn so much. You read his Leelamrita. He tried so many ways. He was thinking, I will help support the temple and so on. But his business completely, Krishna shut it down. After that, he said, you can read the Leelamrita. He said, now I have so much money and I'm not working. Why? Because, Krishna just wants to show you. If you surrender to Krishna, Lakshmi will come automatically. Right? Who is Krishna? He is Lakshmipati. Right. So if you have Krishna, automatically you have Lakshmi. Yeah. So no need to endeavor unnecessarily. It will come. Krishna will give you the intelligence to, you go and get the money. Now, the whole idea is that you collect for your maintenance. That's all. Simple life. And whatever, there's a pastime in Chaitanya Charitamrita, right? Kolavecha Sridhar. Yeah. He only got 2 paisa, I think. And Mahaprabhu will take that 1 paisa away. Every day he'll come. But Kolavecha Sridhar was saying, I don't mind, I don't even want anything, as long as he comes every day and bullies me. That is what I want. So yeah. Yeah. Oh, who's that? Sudama Vipra. He also wasn't interested. Krishna gave him entire palaces in his home. He said, I'm still not interested. Krishna is so kind. He is so wonderful. That was his main thing. Yeah, so that money couldn't touch him. So similarly, when you want to offer Krishna, it should be from the heart. And therefore, you're not attached to it. Yeah. So you see, if you are able to make a lot of money, associate with people who are able to give a lot of money. So that good quality will rub off you and you can also have Krishna consciousness in that. Okay? Okay.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. So these are ideal situations, right? I'm very sure that this is, it's not the real reality.
Which one?
All these points.
Who told you? This is for sadhakas. How can you say this is not for which point is not realistic?
That's tough one. So Atyahara, for example. I mean, we
Yeah.
all,
Overeating, people don't overeat.
I do overeat.
You do, right? So why you can't stop? That you are saying is unrealistic?
I meant unrealistic, meaning this is what we all do.
Yeah, so now you know not to do. The idea, this practice is for sadhakas. So you need to practice this. And when you all practice some of this thing, people watching you will learn. He can do. He was eating so much. I can also do. Right? Let's say there's a last samosa there. Right? Last samosa is there on the plate. And then there's 5 of you watching the samosa. Who will practice atyahara? Ahara. Right? Yeah, so if you can say, I don't need it, then you are successful already. Because tomorrow you don't become a tyagi, need nothing, except the air, No, not like, we're not saying that. We eat that much. Yeah. Yeah, all these things Rupa Goswami gives is achievable. Otherwise, he won't write it down. Okay, it's realistic. Yeah. It's how we practice. If we feel we don't know how to achieve it, we ask devotees who have achieved it, and they will help you. Huh? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If you overeat, you cannot make a spiritual advancement. It's a fact. Yeah. Prabhupada says that. Yeah. Okay?
Super.
But you can't go anywhere. It's raining like anything. You want to say something?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, we always say, right, that we don't want to come back because why we want to suffer sometimes. Sometimes when the suffering is not as much, it's okay. Maybe next life we'll check it out. Ugh. How do we curb that mentality? If it's when things are going bad, we'll say, yes, I don't want to come back. It's very tough. But once that subsides, that mind automatically says, it's okay. Why are you so worried?
Yeah, so that in that case, the person is covered by material energy. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Mahaprabhu says, Avaranadmika Shakti and Prasadpadmika Shakti. Two. One covers and bewilders you. The other one makes you think you're okay. It happens because you're not practicing properly. One who practices Krishna consciousness, you become aware of the suffering more and more, that I am suffering. One who's not practicing, he's thinking, I'm okay. Yeah. It's like if you go in the main highway, sometimes under the bridge, you'll see these beggars are there. They are fighting over a spot to sleep sometimes, or a plastic to cover their body. But they're thinking, they're fighting and they're not thinking, I'm suffering. They're thinking, I need this spot, and they're fighting like that. So similarly, when we are not Krishna consciousness, we think everything may be okay, but that is because we are covered by the material energy. We are in illusion. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what you are seeing, So when people talk like that, then you have to give them prasadam, your association, and then they will realize later on, hopefully, by your prayers. Sometimes we are not there to defeat them, but rather to awaken this higher consciousness that is already present in them. And so by our behavior, we can actually make them see and realize that they are actually suffering. Yeah. And they are not aware that they are suffering. Yeah. Sometimes it's hard, Sometimes some people carry the karma is so strong. But as devotees, by praying for them, giving prasad, we can elevate that suffering. And then they realize, I am suffering. Okay.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. One day I was sitting in temple in New Jersey. So my service is like engaging new devotees, new who are coming to the temple. So one couple came and it is not that rush. It's still like evening program is not yet started and they came. And that person, I asked, do you have Krishna book and all this thing? He told, I read the Krishna book cover to cover. So, and he is telling that, okay, how did you feel and all that? And he started telling that I lost my job, I have to sell off my house and all. So I need my job and I need house now. My house need to come back. So what you tell, what I need to do so that I'll get it. Don't tell that I understood that we need not worry about this and all. I know them.
Yes.
He is well aware of it.
Yes.
And he is asking, I want my house back.
Yes.
That is my wife's desire. I want to fulfill it.
Right.
So, are you chanting? I asked. Then he said, no. Will that help? Will I get it back?
And you told him yes.
Yes. And he took the beads also. So is that okay?
That's okay.
Yes. But I am not there. I have come.
Yeah. But that's okay. You are tricking him to chanting. Yeah.
There is no other option.
Yes. You could also say you will pray for him and so on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's better for him to chant. Yeah.
Upfront he is saying everything.
Yeah.
So, but
It's like that. You're going to meet many people like that who will deny that that the Lord will take care of them. You cannot tell him about Arjuna Acharya story to him. Yeah, he's suffering so much. When they are suffering, they cannot see things clearly. So therefore, you have to help him out and like encourage him. Don't worry, you will get a job. I remember one young man also came in our temple in Houston. So he lost the job. So he was coming, he was like in tears and he was saying, so for the whole week he came and he was always, every day he will come because someone told him go to ISKCON temple, you'll get some blessings or something. So he came every day, he was set for the morning program, he'll take prasadam, go, then he will ask, he said, and so he asked me also, please help me, I said, don't worry, we'll pray for you. You also pray to Nila Mother, your job, you'll get a job, So after 1 week, 2 weeks later, he got a job. And then he left. We never saw him again. So people will come for many reasons. Yeah. Even though, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, right, out of distress, they'll come, Artha, Arti, and all those things. So that's okay. They did something. He did a little seva. It will help him later on, Yeah.
And another one is like, in my previous job, like colleagues, they know that I'm going to ISKCON. They used to, in the lunchtime, they don't know, they make fun of that, but they don't want to understand why I'm following. So one person always says that these are all not practical. Then I said, okay, so if we are not able to achieve 100%, why we not to achieve like 35% pass mark or 60% first class? He's always thinking whether I can completely do it or never do it.
Yeah.
Why we need to be like that? I said, is that okay, or you will?
That's good. That's good. Yeah. If you shoot for a rhinoceros, yeah, you may miss, but at least you'll hit the animal a little bit. Yeah. The target is big, so we aim as much as we can. You get something out of it. Yeah, right. The whole idea in Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada says, if you do 5%, next life you will start at 6%. Yeah. So nothing is lost.
Somehow he liked that point.
Yeah. So that's the right way to. Yeah. Thank you. That's nice.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. So one example you gave earlier was that you'll be born as a cockroach in the same house. Example. So what kind of consciousness that cockroach will have? I mean, because he had a desire that he want to be in that same house, right?
Yeah.
Does he remember that time? That
No.
okay? No. Okay.
You won't remember. Mostly you won't remember. Unless you are like Jad Bharat.
Right.
But they are exalted souls.
Right. Okay.
There is, if you read over the last 20, 30 years, there are situations where sometimes people can remember their past life. There are. Yeah. But it's very rare. If everyone remembers, you'll go crazy, Prabhupada mentions that. You cannot. You remember yourself as a monkey or a murderer, whatever, you'll go crazy. Yeah.
Right. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. You said about like impressions, like a good or positive impressions create a good influence and negative impressions create bad. So how do you control these impressions for like kids, because they are out in open? When you have kids, like they interact with a lot of people which are not under your control.
Right.
And they are in school or they're like with
Yes.
other people. Like how do you, and they are maximum time not with you.
Yes, totally. You're right. So you need to have a very nice program in your home on a daily basis where you can connect your children and so on with the practice, worshipping, kirtan, and they should feel loved also. Your children should feel very much loved by the parents, and so they can understand you are doing it for their benefit. So once that they see that and it clicks, they will do that, and that will remain a positive impression. Whatever happens in life, that will always remain a positive thing for them. Yeah. And then bring them to the temple. As long as you can control them, you bring them. After that, you have done your duty. Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Anyone else? Otherwise, yeah.
Mataji's online.
All right then.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maharaj, for another wonderful class. I'll give a quick summary of the class and the important whatever I got, like I wrote it. So concentrate on the goal of the life is important rather than collecting of more things, and over endeavoring occupy your mind and misuse one's intelligence. Unnecessary talks, reading newspapers or watching news and all. Niyamagraha, strictly following the principles just to get the material benefits. We should not have that. That mentality makes us become neglectful. And Niyamagraha, like we never follow the rules and regulations. And we need to keep a journal or a diary to track of our progress. So that will help us to correct or get an inspiration to do more if we are doing good. So good samskaras or impression give the positive abilities. Similarly, the negative samskaras will give negative abilities. So we need to avoid janasanga, like bad association, and always engage association with the devotees. And the laulyam, being greedy for mundane things. We should be intelligently think how we can mingle with friends and relatives. So to the extent beneficial for our spiritual progress. And we need to read Prabhupada books thoroughly so that we'll fix on our goal.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maharaj. And we'll see tomorrow one
Yeah.
another program. Hare Krishna devotees, thank you for attending this. And tomorrow also we have the same program at 6 o'clock, 6:30, 7 o'clock. Sorry, 7 o'clock.
A small change tomorrow, Prabhu. Tomorrow we don't have same session. We're going to have Vaishnava etiquette for batch 2 Bhakti Sastri students. But Maharaj asked all the congregation members can join as well. It'll be a very good revision. So please feel free to come. But tomorrow's class will be